Have you ever been in a situation where you're like, oh my god, did that just work? Is that really in the rules of GOAT format? Well, today my goal is to invoke that reaction from you again with the next 6 rulings that I am going to teach you. Now, you may think that these scenarios are pretty rare to come up. However, I think they are worth noting for any deck that you play, and indeed any deck that you play against, as you never quite know what your opponent is playing. So without further ado, let's get on with the list. So Cyberjar is a very powerful card seen in many decks, but did you know the monsters that you summon off of it in defense mode can be mixed up in your hand first? The practical element of this, of course, is causing some major discombobulation.
Truly, you have a dizzying intellect.
Of your opponent. This, for me, is personally one of the rulings that many people have told me, no, you can't do that. Well, they're wrong, you can do it, and I would suggest you do in order to gain that slight advantage when using Cyberjar. Fail to find is a difficult concept for modern players to get a handle on, because I believe it has been taken away since GOAT format. I'm not 100% mind, I don't know much about the modern way of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I only know about the GOATs. That being said, I wanted to let you know that it is legal to discard your Thunder Dragon, even if there are no more Thunder Dragons in your deck. This also works for reinforcement of the army and other kind of searches like this. Now you might be thinking to yourself, why would I ever discard my Thunder Dragon to get no value from it? That sounds like a really bad idea. Well, it's in order to get a light monster in the graveyard, in order to make your chaos monsters live. That's literally the only reason I can think of. I guess, thinking about it further, you could make some spicy play where you're discarding your Thunder Dragon to premature burial it back in order to use Metamorphosis to make Dark Bolter. I'm sure elaborate plays like that exist, but for now all you need to know is that your Thunder Dragon can be put in the grave without needing to use the full extent of its effect. What do Matassa the Zapper, Blindly Loyal Goblin, and Horus the Black Flame level 4 all have in common? Their effect, of course, and it reads, control of this card cannot switch. Obviously this is a great way to counter things like Snatch Steal or Brain Control, but did you know it also stops the effect of Thousand Eyes Restrict? Not many people know this, but when Thousand Eyes Restrict activates its effect, it requires the opposing monster to go to their side of the field, and therefore the card has technically switched control. This is actually why people play Blindly Loyal Goblin in the first place. Not only does it counter Snatch Steal and Brain Control, it also counters the very common Thousand Eyes Restrict. And finally, a quick footnote to this section, Element Magician, Element Soldier, and Element Valkyrie also have this effect when there is a face-up water monster on the field. Pet in the Dark Clown is a card that sometimes gets played in Monarch decks. However, when you tribute Pet in the Dark Clown for a tribute summon of your Monarchs, its effect doesn't activate, leaving those Monarch players in dismay about how they've been cheated out of a Pet in the Dark Clown summon. But did you know that Pet in the Dark Clown's effect actually activates when you discard it from the hand? I mean, this may seem obvious to a few players, just read the card text. But a lot of people think that it only activates on the field, which is strange. So I wanted to set the record straight and let you know that if you discard your Pet in the Dark Clown with a Graceful Charity, you will be able to summon another one from your deck. Speaking of Monarch players, let's talk about Soul Exchange. Soul Exchange is used by many duelists in order to tribute off their opponent's monsters to make a tribute summon. Did you know, however, there is further applications for Soul Exchange, like using it to tribute off of Metamorphosis in order to summon a fusion monster? This is another one of these rulings that falls into the category of just read the card and you'll see what it does, but I rarely see people take advantage of this. Of course, it's not just limited to Metamorphosis either. You can use your Cannon Soldier to tribute your opponent's monster and inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent. All in all, I consider Soul Exchange to be quite a versatile card. Just make sure you don't try and metamorphose your opponent's monster while it's set on the field. That will not work. I saved the best till last. This is my favourite ruling on this list. Summoner of Illusions can summon a fusion monster from the extra deck by tributing off a monster on your side of the field. But did you know if you declare Fiend Skull Dragon as the target and it is successfully summoned, it will not be destroyed in the end phase, as Summoner of Illusions effect will be negated by the Fiend Skull Dragons. Essentially what this means is it bypasses the negative effect of summoner illusions, and you'll be left with a Fiend Skull Dragon indefinitely until your opponent deals with it. And with that, I've wrapped up my list of my 6 rulings that I wanted to share with you today that you may not have known. I hope I've been able to teach you something, and I'm interested to hear your guys' experience in Go format. What rulings are really rare that you don't see used, or little tricks like the Summoner of Illusions one? I'd be interested to know another one of them, and perhaps I can feature it in a future video. So make sure to leave your suggestions in the comments section below. And before I sign off, I just wanted to let you know of a giveaway that we're doing on our Facebook group. All you have to do is follow my link in the description, and it will explain how you can win a Invasion of Chaos Blackluster Soldier Envoy of the Beginning totally free. I also want to explain to you that this isn't like your normal giveaway that YouTubers do, because we have a relatively small audience. You have a genuine chance of winning. But with that said, I've been Rost, and I'll see you on the next video.